Hello there, it's Eliza popping in with a quick, hopefully a real quick live. You know, you open up Facebook and it says, "What's on your mind?" And I have to tell you, Minneapolis is on my mind, and things related to Minneapolis, like the young man who was shot down when he was jogging in his neighborhood. I don't know if he was even that young. But I'm just kind of thinking about how there are so many injustices in this world right now, and I don't pretend to know the racism card. I don't even pretend to know. I don't even pretend to know the fear or the anguish that people live in. But what I do know, I don't want this to sound really weird, but I know that there's a higher order, and we call it spiritual law. And I know, I'm going to just give you a shot here while I'm thinking my thought through. I know without a doubt that what we're seeing in our world, what we're seeing in the polarization and on every subject, every single subject you can even imagine. We just had a situation with one of our many kids, and just the injustices around that their kids are experiencing. It's like it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And again, I don't mean to compare, right? But what I do want to speak to today is I believe that part of the reason we're seeing all of this is the fundamental issue, challenge, reality, principle of separation. We believe that we are separate from one another, from the earth, from the planet, from source, from God, from creation, from one another. And it's only in separation that we can experience things like we're experiencing in our country and probably all over the world, but certainly in our country right now. And so if we rise up, which is not about burying our head in the sand, but if we connect deeply within, if we land in the very core of our being and find that point of connection, me to source, me to creation, and I land in that place of oneness, which I believe is coming, that we are moving into the new humanity. And in that new humanity, we know oneness, like separation does not exist. But we're a ways from that. Me and my buddies, we're touching it, we're living there, we're being in it, but we're also well aware of the world that is not there yet. But if we can connect deeply to the core of our being, to land out of the mind, because the mind, right, goes rampant about how wrong it is, and it puts us into defensiveness, and it puts us into defensive, and it puts us into resistance, and it puts us into all these things that we're seeing. But if we can separate from that for a moment and land deep in the core of our being, where there is only oneness, there is nothing but oneness, and we can bask there for a moment, long enough that our whole body, mind, heart, soul, spirit system can take a breath. Then from that place we find wholeness. From that place we find our own oneness. And from that place we can land and pop into a deeper experience of oneness, which then leads us to allness. And then from that place, and that place alone, you can ask yourself, what is mine to do? What is mine to do from this place? What is my stand to take? What is my activism, my spiritual activism? And maybe it's love, and maybe it's an action in the world, and maybe it has to do with something that's already happening out there. But if we can access that place first, then that's where the change begins to happen. I've been taking a class for one of the certificates that I'm working on. It's called Eye of the Storm. A lot of my buddies and a lot of my students have taken that class. The fundamental premise of that is there is nothing and no one against me. Now you look in the world and you go, how the hell can that be? That's obviously not true. Also says that everything is for me. Now I'm not saying that a murder is for me. We have some injustices going on in our personal family, in our inner circle family, as I say that word, right? It's like, it rips my heart, shatters my heart, turns my stomach in knots. It makes me want to just puke, quite frankly. And yet I know that the way through is not resistance, is not defensiveness. It is purpose. It is communion with that which is spirit. It is oneness. It is wholeness. And so whatever it is that you're feeling today, know that we don't want to change our feelings, right? But we want to move through them. We want to move all the way through them, because when we move through them with acceptance and allowing them and looking to see what's true, not on the surface, but going deeper and deeper and deeper, we'll find a part of our own selves that is feeling, that is experienced either as the victim or the perpetrator, and very often both, right? And again, it's not to compare. Whoa, big hawk just went by. That's very cool. Not to compare, because compare is part of separation, but to find our oneness and to stand for divine justice and to stand for a higher order and to stand for oneness and allness. And all of that at its fundamental core is love. So find a way, no matter what you're feeling, no matter what you're experiencing right now, to bring your body, your mind, your heart, your soul, to find that point within your very being, to take a breath and to take another breath. And if you can't find love, because that's too far away, then find beauty. If you can't find appreciation, which is the power of heart math and those sciences, then find beauty. Then find gratitude. And if it's just like, okay, in this moment, I can be so grateful that a hawk just flew by, then grab on with an open hand. Grab on to that gratitude. Grab on to that blessing and bask there for a minute. Let that gratitude, that beauty, that oneness, that moment of relief, hold it with an open palm until your body system can take a reset. It's not going to just be once. This is huge stuff we're walking in. But we're also on the cusp of a whole new way of being. It's what we talk about in New Humanity Now. It's where we live more and more in New Humanity Now. So if you want to know more, just pop me a message and I'll send you all the details about how to play in that. But for right now, find a moment of peace in your soul, of calm in your soul, of beauty. Beauty works beautifully. And just take a breath, and then take another breath, and then take another breath, and then stand up and take the action that is yours to take. There's a lot of injustice in the world. There's a lot of breakdown in the world. But that's an indicator to me that we are on the verge of a breakthrough. So I hold in my heart all the people who are experiencing such deep levels of pain, personally or vicariously. I hold in my heart all people who are suffering with injustices on this day. And I do that with huge compassion. I do that with a huge, open spaciousness hug of love. I could go on, but I'm going to stop. I'd love to know that you watched. I'd love to know who watched and what you think about this. So I'm Eliza, talking about injustices. There's a better lighting. There's a better look of our beautiful lake. The sky today, it's gorgeous. Look at that. Just take a breath and breathe into those skies. Maybe that hawk will fly by again. And just breathe into the beauty of that tree, those little white clouds. Oh, I saw him. I don't think he got in the camera, though. All right. Know that I love you. Know that love is the answer. That love is the way. That love is what will transcend every and all injustice in the world. Come play with me in New Humanity Now. There's a lot of really magical things happening there, so hope to see you there. So much love. Bye.